Now joined by Coach Chris Sullens. Coach, tell you what, this is a great night.
Well, it's one of the reasons I like coaching in Warren County. You look at some of the history, and Warren County has a rich tradition of quality, not only quality athletes, but quality people. You see Ed Cantrell and Ronnie Brown and Charlie Dalton, who the gym's named after. Those are some of the best people Warren County has to offer. So congratulations to all of them tonight.
Coach, we're talking about some games. Let's talk first about the Smyrna game. Haven't talked to you since then. Guys put on a great effort against the Bulldogs and picked up a good win.
We did. I mean, that's a 7 AAA team. It's very athletic. It was a back-to-back night. I thought our kids played extremely well. We really got after it defensively. We knew earlier in the year that was going to have to be a staple for our basketball team. I thought that basically we kind of controlled the tempo. We kept the ball out of the middle of the basketball floor, and we're starting to shoot it a little bit better. So going forward, if we're just trying to build game after game. We kind of got the motto, we're not going to really worry about wins or losses. Let's just see if we can get better each and every night. And
I thought you did a great job. You talked about controlling the tempo, and plus two, you didn't let them get into a rhythm. The whole game, not hardly any fast breaks. One of the things that you talked about, was you kind of worried about how their legs would be if they're going to have their legs underneath them for the next night?
Absolutely. Blackman was a game we played that night before, and that was a team that really we expended a lot of energy against, because Blackman's going to make you play that way. So we were really concerned maybe in the second half if we were going to have enough energy to continue to play at the pace we wanted to play at. I thought we did a good job in defensive transition. They got very few opportunities on the break. We didn't turn the basketball over. That's always a good thing. That takes a lot of transition away. We got a shot on the basket. I think that night we had 11 turnovers total. So you can always win basketball games if you don't turn the basketball over and you don't give up easy layups and those type things. And we kind of made Smyrna shoot the ball from outside, and they just didn't shoot it at the percentage that maybe that they wanted to win the basketball game.
Well, this is the second time that we've played Tullahoma. Talk about the first time that you played last Thursday on the 29th.
I thought Tullahoma the last time we played them down there, it was probably one of our best defensive efforts that we've had opening the ball game up. I think we went on a 24-5 run. We really got after them defensively, got out some passing lanes. They've got a couple young men that can flat out shoot it. A Fulton kid that you're going to see tonight, number 12. Kid's long and lanky. He had just come off the football field, though, so he'll probably be more in a rhythm tonight. I know they played White County a whole lot tougher earlier in the week, so we'll have our hands full. But I thought defensively we really set the tone, and then we went out and really shot the ball well. Basketball is pretty easy if the ball's going in the hole, and I think we hit maybe our first 6 or 7 shots down at Tullahoma. Got on a good rhythm, and in today's basketball, if you can get up 19 or 20, and I think that's what we were up, it's unless you're really shooting it well, those are things that it's hard to overcome. So I don't think we played real well down the stretch, but they never did hit us with a spurt to really get them back in the basketball game.
Yeah, you was talking about White County playing Tullahoma. I think we had not seen their football guys yet, but still they put on a great effort.
Absolutely.
And knew that they would be tough. You got them later on tonight. Any changes from last Thursday?
I think the one thing that we're going to have to make sure that we do, they did a good job of dribble penetrating in the second half. They got to the rim. They got us in a little foul trouble. We're going to have to make sure we can keep the ball out of the middle of the basketball floor. We've got to get out on some shooters. I think something we didn't do a good job of late in that basketball game is they were penetrating and pitching on us, getting open shots in the corner. We're probably not going to allow that guy to come and help. We'll stay with him and see if we can get our help from maybe the weak side of the basketball floor. So those are things. If we can put good ball pressure on, and then as always, we're a basketball team that if we don't turn the basketball over, if we can protect it, if Ethan can get us in offense, I do think that we can get good shots. I'm not going to say they're going to go in, but we can get quality shots. And I think something we did a good job last night against Grundy County, we've started to rebound the ball as a basketball team. Cedric Cox is our 2 guard. I think he had 7 rebounds last night. Ethan Smith had 5. Of course, C.J. Taylor and Raven, Brad and Kaysen are doing a good job on the boards. But if we can get more guys involved on the boards, I think that helps our basketball team.
I think so too. So good luck tonight against Tullahoma. Some teams that Let's talk about the Grundy County game last night. Picked up a good win. I'm not sure what the score was on that, but a good win against a pretty good team.
Well, Grundy County came into our place last night. They're undefeated. They were 7-0, and I thought we did a good job again. We set the tempo early. I think we went into half up 37-12. Really did a great job on the defensive end. Forced them into a lot of tough shots. I don't think they got any second chance opportunities in the first half, and that was big. We didn't want to get them because we thought that they played very aggressive. They're a team that really gets after it. Effort-wise, we were really concerned that they would give more effort on our floor, and that was something we talked about in the locker room before we played. We hit 12 threes last night. If you'd have told me earlier in this year how many games it would take us to hit 12 threes, I'd have said it'd probably take about 10 to 12 because I didn't think we shot it that way.
Probably district time.
Exactly. But I guess what we're doing, the last 2 games, we've hit 22 threes as a team. We're starting to shoot it better. We've got some guys that's got some confidence. And one thing we're taking away right now is we're taking off that tag that we're a young basketball team. We've now done this almost. This will be our 10th game. Guys have been in this atmosphere. You can't make those, well, they've not done this before and those type of things. So they're maturing. We're putting a little bit more on them. And I think defensively, every night we've improved, night in, night out.
And Coach Bobby Hale coming right in front of us. Representatives of the 1979 state team that was part of that championship team. The last 6-on-6.
That's
good to see Coach Hale
That's
here.
A legend and a team that'll never be forgotten in Warren County basketball history. And just glad that Coach Hale could be with us tonight.
I am too. I'm glad to see that, and still remember listening to the game and beating Riverdale 40 to 35.
I'm sure Coach Hale and all those young ladies can remember it too, because it's something that I know all of them hold a special place in their hearts for that. And like I say, it's the first. If I'm not mistaken, it's the team that when you walk in this gym, you walk under their poster. So
yeah.
We're glad that they're going to get to see us play tonight, and we're glad they can be with us.
Coach, this past Tuesday went to Manchester to take on Coffee County, and I know you got a smile on your face because it's like, okay, I was hoping that I'd forget about that, but
that's one that we probably are. We're going to talk very little about.
Well, I did want to ask you. I've never seen anybody get hit with a technical right off the bat in the first game, but you were just for cheering their players.
Coach Mitchell's told me I was out of the box. He said I was 10 to 12 feet on the floor. I just don't think they do a good job as part of teaching what math is up there, because I could have swore I was only at least 5 or 6 foot on the floor. So. But, hey, officials have a tough job. We lost a basketball game. That's as simple as it is, and we told our young men that at any point in time you've got to be able to overcome any kind of adversity. I think that was a good basketball game. It was a learning experience for us, because you're going to be in those type of situations. That was a nip-and-tuck basketball game. We didn't adjust to how a basketball game was being officiated. That's on me. We should have made some adjustments as a basketball team of maybe getting out of our man and maybe going to a zone and protecting some guys. Well, I'll take full responsibility for that, and I think we'll grow as a basketball team from it. One thing we have to do is, they shot 44 free throws.
Yeah.
We shot 5. We can't allow basketball teams to get to the free throw line 44 times against us. If they outshoot you 39 free throws, you're in trouble. It's hard to overcome. I've had a lot of people ask me, how in the world did you go into overtime? Well, if you look at the stats, it's hard to imagine we did. I thought our kids continued to battle, and we're just going to take that game and say, hey, it was a situation that we've got to get better at, and I think we will learn from it.
Coach, next week, Smyrna, we go to their place. We see them again.
Absolutely.
And then next week, Blackman.
You got Blackman. You got Smyrna on Smyrna the first game of the week, and then you got Blackman in DeKalb. So like we talked about earlier, it's 3 games in 3 weeks. That's 9 games that we played. We've just not had a lot of practice time. We're really ready to get back on the practice floor and see if we can learn, get some film study. You play last night, you turn right around. So with the JV game today, we didn't get a lot of work in. Tonight we'll go off last game scout against Tullahoma. next week will probably be the last week like that. We'll get more of a routine, maybe a Tuesday and Friday night after our Christmas tournament. So I think it's been good for our guys, though, because they've played a lot of basketball.
That was going to be my next question. I asked Shea the same thing. Do you think that it's good to have a lot of games early? Does it help you out come district time?
I wouldn't have said that with last year's group because they were so experienced. They had been through this. I think this has been good for our guys because we just keep throwing them out there. They really don't have a lot of time to think about what happened the night before because you've got to get ready for the next night. So there's been some real positives to it. That being said, that's probably how we're going to have to play for the next 2 or 3 years. For this reason, we only have 5 district teams, so you've only got 8 district basketball games. So we talked to Coach Mitchell and Coach Bray and Coach Cap and Coach Curtis. We all talked about trying to schedule basketball games, and when other teams have 7 or 8 teams in a district, that district schedule's set, and you're trying to work around those basketball teams. So that's part of it. The schedule is what it is, and we're just going to play the next basketball game.
Coach Sullens, appreciate you coming by. Good luck tonight against Tullahoma, and we will see you next Tuesday against Blackman.
Good to see you.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Halftime, we're now joined by Coach Shea Panter. Coach, 7 new inductees into the 2018 class, the Hall of Fame class, Warren County Sports Hall of Fame. It's good to see all of them here tonight and getting inducted, well deserved.
And that's awesome for them, and I hope that the athletes see the pedigree that we have here, and that we do have people that did amazing things through athletics, and hopefully that will make them want to perform to be remembered that way. And that I think it's awesome when we have any heritage that comes and shows the kids. And I like everybody here. This is a big crowd. This is the biggest crowd we've had so far this year. For everybody to support those inductees and let them know that we love and care about them and appreciate what they've done for Warren County athletics.
Yeah, especially I had to talk to Marie about 3,331 points.
Crazy.
That was 6-on-6. There was no three-pointer.
I said, how did you get? I went down to the pre-game when they were down there eating, and I shook her hand, and she said we're actually related, and I didn't even know that. And I was like, that's freaking awesome. And then I said, how did you get to shoot the ball so well? And she said, I just put in extra time. We didn't have enough time in practice, so I practiced at home. I told the girls that. I said, that was 1970. The same story is true in 2018. You got to put in extra time outside of practice to be really good at it, and she did. That's what she said. I forget. There's no telling how many shots she put up every day.
No, I tell you, it's great to see. Well deserved. All of them getting inducted. Tough one tonight against Tullahoma. I think you picked up a win against them on the road.
We did.
And then come back here. I knew, and I've seen Tullahoma this year whenever they were in Sparta. Same thing, Julia Duncan. She was probably the bright spot there. Mm-hmm. She had 25 when I saw her earlier. Tonight, she has 25 again. Harding had a little bit bigger role.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to get anything going in the meeting that I had seen. But it seemed like it was that spurt in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And Lady Pioneers just could not bounce back from that.
In the locker room, that's what we talked about at halftime. It's a tie ball game. When we come back out there, the first team to jump is going to be the team that gets the advantage. And when we start off with 2 straight turnovers, you can't do that in a tight ball game. And our scouting report, of course, had Duncan, we're going to make her go left. She's not as quick left. And we gambled on some plays and let her get back right, let her get going. And then, there at the end, she has a wide open layup, and we let her have it. We have you try to take the charge or come over and take the hit. I don't know. I mean, she's a good player, but I think we let her rattle us, and we didn't bounce back from that.
And tough defeat. I thought Megan shot the ball tonight very well. 16 points for her. Grace had 9 points. Grace asserting herself in the lane, but Megan just didn't get enough help tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Patch shot the ball well, and it's been that's good. We need her to start shooting the ball well, and on nights when Grace isn't in transition or they're clogging the middle for Grace and Tyra, we need Patch to step up and knock down shots. We need McCullough to make some shots outside. Talking about Grace this year has been the most consistent player for us, running the floor, scoring around the rim, getting rebounds, and and she kind of played out of sorts tonight. You know, I don't really know. I was hoping these weeks of 3-game weeks were going to help us play ourselves into shape, work out some kinks, go into Christmas tournament, a little winning streak, and then begin district play in January. But we're hitting a few more snags than I thought we would.
I probably asked you this before, and if I have, you know, forgive me. Do you like the 3-game weeks to where, you know, maybe because you start out the week Coffee County, have a couple of days, then you have to turn around and play Grundy. You picked up a win against Grundy County last night.
We did. I don't like the 3-game weeks, but there's really not any other options. Last year we had 2, and, you know, we have that bye week in the district, so we try to plug 1 game in there. That's a non-district game, so we just have the normal 2-game week. But this year we couldn't get someone in one of those spots. So the non-district schedule having to fit 7 teams in, that's what it looks like. You know, it's not an excuse. We're not tired. We just hit some snags. But if we're going to hit snags, I'd rather hit them now than in January.
Exactly, because, district time, that's whenever you really want to be hitting your stride.
That's right.
Well, coming up next week, you got Smyrna on the road. Got 3 more games coming up next week. Yep. Blackman here on Tuesday, then you go to Smithville for a Thursday game. Before
Friday. It's Friday.
Or Friday,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Friday, and then you got the Sonic Shootout after that. So you got a lot of games coming up. A couple of tough games. Smyrna had an easier time with Smyrna here. You got them at their place, and then you got a tough Blackman team right after that.
That's right. I mean, Smyrna is not one of the better teams in Murfreesboro, but, you know, we just got to come ready to play all 3 games next week and get back in our rhythm.
All right. Coach, appreciate you dropping by.
Yes, sir.
And we will see you Tuesday night.
I'll see you there.